Welcome everyone, AdamTheWoo here. And who is this guy? Roscoe Soul Train all the way down to Southern California from Northern California? What brings you down here?
This, actually.
What? Oh, this banner?
This banner, yeah, especially.
D-Con? What exactly? Now, do not get a dirty mind. What is D-Con?
It's a designer con. It's a bunch of toys and like art and cool pop culture stuff.
And you invited me. You said you should come to Pasadena. I'm driving down from the San Francisco Bay Area, which is where you live. You don't actually live in San Francisco,
no.
But close by. You drove down. You said, come to Pasadena. I said, okay. And now we are here together, and we are about to enter into the wonders of Designer Con. Designer Con 2015, or as you just said, and I kindly interrupted you, D-Con.
D-Con.
Hashtag
D-Con.
D-Con.
Yeah.
So let's go through the doors.
Well, but you didn't do your intro.
Oh yeah, it's my second channel, daily vlog channel.
It's the Thedailywoo.
Why are you getting so quiet?
Oh, sorry.
Shy of me?
We gotta speak loudly.
You gotta speak loudly. You gotta speak
clearly.
You have to project your voice into Designer Con 2015. Now, I have actually never heard of this. And one thing that's interesting about Southern California and California in general, as opposed to other areas of the country, it seems like there is a convention every weekend.
Yeah.
And I always think to myself, there's not going to be anyone at a convention if they're having it every weekend. I am incorrect in assuming that, because every convention that I show up to, neglecting to think that there are going to be people at, is always crowded.
Oh yeah, this one's crowded too.
And this one is no exception.
Yeah.
Look at the sheer amount of people that are in here, all through the halls. And this is only one section of it. It actually goes all the way back, 4 or 5 rows just in this little section, and then through the little underbelly into the nether regions, there is more D-Con this way. Why do they think they shortened it to D-Con and not?
They want to confuse people.
Designer
They
Con?
wanted to get more people involved, because you never know what kind of crowd, kind of cross crowd you're going to draw when you
That's
have a name
true.
like D-Con.
You see, I actually thought it was actually Design Con, and I Googled it, and there's actually is a Design Con. This is actually Designer. So this is actually a little bit more designerable.
Yeah.
In the convention area, and there's all kind of cool stuff like cat pillows. Look at this. If you're gonna lay,
oh dude, this is gonna hit a million plays.
That's
Let's
right.
get cats on
They
it.
say cats are very popular. Look at this, cats. That should be the default. Cats. Look at this is actually cool too. If it fits, sits.
This is gonna hit on all kinds of. Look at this.
And
Look
you
at all
have
these.
actually said that you have a budget.
Yeah.
That you are sticking to.
Yeah.
And I was actually telling you that I actually have gotten so familiar with going to conventions, because I've been to like Dragon Con, I've been to WonderCon, I've been to a bunch of conventions, that I actually block out the fact that I have any money in my wallet or in my credit card statement.
Yep.
And I never buy anything.
Yep.
Which I need. You are actually taking the different approach.
Well, this time I am.
And how much are you going to spend while you are here today,
well,
approximately?
I gave myself a little bit. I gave myself a $150 budget, and
So you're going to spend at least $400 or $500.
no, I really. You know what? If I
You've
spend,
already bought something already.
Yeah, I
Not
did.
the coffee.
well,
It's something else.
No, actually, Colin bought me the coffee.
Oh, very. Oh, look at this. This is actually cool. And it's actually right next to the booth we are standing at. Someone has designed old NES Konami Code era, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start, or select start, depending if you're playing 2 players. And they have actually come up with some really cool. Look at these. Old school Nintendo cartridge. Look at this. Look at the size of this. That is actually.
Size of that.
Now that, if that does not sum up 80s video game goodness, I do not know what does. I love video games, especially the Atari 2600, and then I promoted myself up to the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1985. Still my favorite of all time, and I do love this. And this is actually really clever too. Look at this. This is actually a really clever joke when it comes to having that. Do you remember the days when you have to like blow in there?
And all you were doing
To
is just
blow
like
in there?
spit, like doing like Mountain Dew spit and Doritos, just like.
That's very, very rich. You know that you are a different era of me when you say that you're drinking the Mountain Dew Game Fuel. Back then, I did not have Mountain Dew or Doritos. I was just basically drinking water and getting excited off of Super Mario Brothers and the mushrooms and stuff. But there was another secret too you could do, where you could take 2 cartridges and stack them on top of each other. So you'd put one in, press it down, then you would take another cartridge, an NES cartridge, and put it in top. mangle that down, and that would actually make the system work just as good as the blowing technology, which is like very interesting. I was definitely a self-proclaimed aficionado when it came to Nintendo Entertainment System. So plenty of stuff in here. I do not know what. So I'm very tempted though. I said I wasn't going to spend any money, but there's a lot of really cool stuff, including these little crazy guys. Look at this. You said you heard something. What did you hear?
I heard that there was, I think this might be the booth where they had some wampas. What? Taxidermy wampas.
Is that what this is?
I mean, they're not cost.
Look at these guys.
I know, I love them.
These are crazy. Look at this. That's borderline terrifying. And this is kind of friendly a little bit.
It's cute.
It's either an elf or... What is the organization that are in parades and they ride around
the
in the
loyal
little...
antelopes? The royal...
Yes, that could be what that is. But look at some of these terrifying faces on these. You would think they were puppets, but they're not puppets. You actually mount them on the wall as if you had like slain them.
Right.
Like if you were a hunter and you were going out, you didn't want to hunt deer
No.
or something of that nature
would
and
buy one of
frame
these
it on the
instead.
wall. You actually just buy one of these. This is the alternative to hunting.
It's probably
And going out and shooting something. You could just go purchase something here at Decon.
lessen the environmental impact, maybe.
Exactly. What is that over there?
Oh,
There's
these are
a
amazing
zombie.
over here.
Oh, so you've already seen these. So you've been wandering around for a little bit before I got here.
Just for a little bit, not that
Short
long.
while. What is this
But
exactly?
I don't know, but these are like really cool horror
Is this a
toys.
Rancor? It looks like a Rancor.
It is a Rancor.
Oh, it's the Iron Monster. Look at this. Look at this. It kind of looks like Darth Vader a little bit, but it's actually a monstrous toy called the Iron Monster. And look at these guys.
The babies are so cute.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the babies.
This is going to be the most viral video ever because it has babies,
And cats.
All you need is farts,
Yes.
and then we're good.
All you need is what?
Farts.
Well, you could do that in SPDs.
And holidays.
SPDs,
Right.
they don't care, but they would never know what
Crop
actually
dusting.
happened. Unless you could just tell by the discoloration in my face and the grimace
Well,
that I actually made.
I think there's been some crop dusting going on here. Usually a convention.
Look at this shirt right here. This is not a positive shirt. This is actually like, this guy's going to sink his claws, well, his teeth,
His two teeth.
his mouth claws into you. Look at this. He's got the evil eyebrows there. So what exactly, so pretty much anyone that designs anything could rent a booth here and bring out their creation.
Absolutely.
Show up.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what Designer Con is all about.
Yeah, if we're not being told, the booths are actually pretty reasonable here as well. And I don't know if you saw it, but you know that guy Kohete Boy or Kohete Boy from Instagram?
No.
David, he works for like.
I do not know David yet.
Oh, so he does like all the theme park, the theme park, I think he works for like Universal or something.
Is he out here?
He
has
I
a
saw
booth?
Him, no, I actually saw
He
him
has
walking
a-
around earlier.
So he's doing Instagram pictures. I'm doing a vlog.
Probably, yeah.
He's doing Instagram photos.
Oh, did you see the Back to the Future stuff in the
I
beginning?
did.
Of it? Oh,
I forgot to say this also. I don't know
Wow.
if we're allowed to take pictures of it or video it. That's why.
We are.
So we should
Yeah.
walk out there. When we're done with this, we'll
Yeah.
walk out there. There is a display of Back to the Future stuff. There's a DeLorean out front. But more importantly than that, because the DeLorean, I don't want to say is cliche now in 2015
Right.
because it's the Back to the Future year.
Yeah.
But someone has an epic conglomeration of Back to the Future paraphernalia, which we will end the vlog with. It's going to be a very long. It's going to be a very long vlog as we wander through Decon. I'm just going to call it Decon.
absolutely.
Decon. Look at this. We have a plethora of
Droids.
sci-fi droids. Of course, Bender here, and Walleye.
Jeff Heimbach's favorite.
Oh, so this is from Doctor Who.
Doctor
Doctor
TARDIS?
Who.
Is it the TARDIS?
That is the TARDIS, and of course R2D2. C-3PO, who is making eye contact. He's having a stare-down competition. Look at those creeper peepers there with the Stormtrooper, and that is an OG Stormtrooper, not like the new Stormtroopers
Have you seen
from
them?
the new movie that look like Howard the Duck. Those look like that is the old. I am not really a huge fan of the new Stormtrooper.
Have you seen him walking around Disneyland yet?
I have.
I haven't seen him
I
yet.
actually went when they did the opening of Season of the Force.
Yeah,
Pretty awesome.
right.
If,
Oh, I
if
saw
you have
the
not
video.
seen that video, it's on my main channel, the AdamTheWoo channel. Season of the Force. Plenty of toys, plenty of creations. Look at these guys. The puppet?
No, the girl who does that stuff. She works. I believe she did some work for the new Mickey shorts.
So you know a lot of the people that are here.
Not really, but some.
But you
of my,
know them through social media, so it feels like
yeah.
you know them.
Well, I think that she's friends with
vicarious
a
friends.
friend. She's a friend of a friend.
A friend of a friend of a
Yeah.
friend of a dog's previous owners,
Yes.
goldfish's
Yes.
nephews, cousins,
Roommate.
other roommates, previous
Boss.
person who once bought them's boss.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So look how many rows there are of stuff here. There's no way we're going to pretty much go through the whole thing. Look at this! Look at
whoa.
this
What's
guy.
going
on?
Now here we have the beard
I was
contest,
wondering.
and you are actually winning. I noticed when I saw you outside, I said, "Who is that masked man?" And then I realized you're not wearing a mask. You're actually wearing a beard. I'm thinking
I'm
about
wearing
growing
my
mine out.
personality.
How long does it take you to grow a beard of that stature?
I shaved
This
this
morning.
D23.
So that was like
So
3
what was
months
that?
ago?
Yeah, 3 months.
I might actually grow facial hair faster than you, then.
Really?
Maybe, possibly.
I
Yours
grow
is
pretty
definitely
fast.
in beast mode, for sure.
It
Always,
works out. It
always.
goes to the beard gym.
When are you going to grow your beard out?
I would never grow a beard. My
No?
dad.
You
my
could.
dad.
You got a little,
yeah.
you got a little miniature scruff wagon going on
You know,
there.
I committed a long time ago when my favorite hockey team won the Stanley Cup. I shaved a little mustache and I let it go. And
Kept it ever since.
And I kept it ever since because at the time nobody was wearing mustaches. I just looked like the creeper with the little mustache. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run with this. I really enjoy it, and so
I couldn't pull off a stash.
I think
Have you ever
could
done
do
that?
it.
I have, and it looked weird. I've
If
done
you-
it for like a couple days.
if
The only
you
time
grew-
I do the stash is when I shave, and I just leave it for like 5 seconds,
Yeah, and have a
and
good
then I'm
laugh.
like, no, yeah, have a good
Yeah.
chuckle, and then I'm done with it.
Keep it for like a week. A week stash.
A week stash. See,
It's
this is
Movember.
not a week stash, though. This is like a manly stash.
You got a good one.
Who do you think has the best stash when it comes to entertainer goes? Like, who was the guy in Roadhouse? Not Swayze, but the other guy in
Oh, I
Roadhouse.
haven't seen
He was
Roadhouse since I was
also
a kid.
in Big Lebowski as the narrator.
Oh, that one
was
guy.
his name?
Sam
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 Elliott.
Elliott,
So
yeah.
Sam Elliott, I would say, probably has the most manly,
See, I'm gonna go-
epic stash
I don't think
of all
that
time.
It doesn't burl in thickness, like Tom Selleck thickness,
Yes.
or Sam Elliott thickness. I don't really think that's like manly. I actually prefer the real dainty
You like the
ones,
thin, the
like
dainty.
myself.
Okay.
Like,
We have spent way too much time on this topic.
Oh, yeah, that's
Let's
true.
go back
Yeah,
on
we
facial
digress.
hair.
We
All right,
digress.
let's go back into some of the goodness of this stuff that is here. Look at this guy.
Some embryos.
Oh yeah, look at this. Okay, so let's leave the first room and venture off into the second room. Now, I would have just assumed before I got here that it was going to be a room about that size.
Yeah, right.
I was incorrect. You know what they say when you assume something? That
Make a
actually happened to me.
A.
That you make an A out of you and I, or you and me.
Yeah.
But there is a second room, and when you walk in, you are greeted by these guys. You are greeted by three. by
Look
three
at this.
cardboard.
Look at the stuff over here.
Look at the size of this room. Look at the size of this room. Wow. Look at this. I am not. Are you familiar with any of this stuff, Colin?
I have no idea.
This is Kid Robot. So you are like me, where you are just like, this is awesome. I love people that create
just cool
things.
to look at
I love
and see all the
supporting
artists.
creators. Where he knows everyone that's here, either on social. He's just like name dropping like crazy.
Oh, you know,
He's
it's
saying, "Oh yeah, I'm friends with that guy on Instagram. I know
I
that guy
follow
on
a lot of
Twitter.
these
That guy
people on Instagram."
retweeted. That guy retweeted something of mine."
I was
That
actually
is
really
pretty much what
excited.
Ross is
I
saying.
thought, like, there's gonna be so many more Instagram accounts that I'm gonna follow after this convention.
There probably will be.
Just because of the freshness that's everywhere. Look at these little paper
Right,
guys.
there's something going on over here. There is some excitement.
Maybe that's where the wampus are.
Look at this. Oh, that's cool. Look at these guys. Where?
Han
What?
Cholo, right over here.
Where are we seeing that? Oh, yeah.
Cholo Vodka.
There we go. Oh, this is awesome. It is actually a video game full of bling, full of Star Wars bling. This is actually, look at this. Actually, I like this. May the Force be with you. I would wear that. I would actually wear that and that Chewbacca. So basically, if you were either a fan of Star Wars or playing guitar, you could actually buy this guitar pick, which is actually, I guess that's like made out of metal. With Chewbacca, and if you're going to have a guitar pick, the most metal guitar pick you could have would have Chewbacca.
I think this booth
on
is
there.
selling puppies. Look at this.
Selling puppies? Oh yes, look at this little guy. Look at him.
Even we have kitties.
That is the best creation ever. Look at this little guy here. He's very camera shy.
Chamaco. His
He's
name
very
is
camera
Chamaco.
Hi. Here we go.
What a baby.
He's very camera shy. He did not want to be in the vlog.
No, wait, that's too much.
What is going on over here? What's happening? There's someone in here of importance, I am thinking, inside of this vast majority of folk. Okay, we need
it's Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle?
It's not Dave Chappelle. I just
He
made that.
returned from wherever he was. Remember a while back when Dave Chappelle didn't really go off the deep end. He just wanted to get away from society.
Yes, yes.
And he went to a foreign country.
Yeah, Africa.
He went to Africa. I was trying to think of where it was.
Yeah.
And he just kind of took a breath, like a little breath of fresh air.
Yep.
And has that actually helped him out? Has he rejuvenated his career?
You know what? I've actually he has, and I've actually run into Dave Chappelle twice since that. And one time it was because my buddy screamed when we saw a crowd of people, "Hey, Dave Chappelle!"
Ah.
And it was Dave Chappelle. The second time I was at a show and I saw Dave Chappelle.
Does he
and
follow
was,
you on Instagram?
No, I wish.
See, he's doing the name dropping thing again.
He was angry.
He's doing he was angry.
Real angry.
Maybe because you were yelling at him. You should be
Ross played
kinder.
Coachella.
He was angry, and oh man, he was ripped. He was tough. And he
Really?
was shredded with
So he did
muscle.
like the carrot top transition?
Yeah, he did.
Where he was normal and skinny, and all of a sudden he just became like Arnold. I said, I'm carrot top right here, with my hair here. That's kind of how Dave Chappelle
Oh yeah, and that
kind
was
of ended
very
up turning out.
exciting.
Very, very interesting story there. Let's look at these prints on wood, which I am taking to mean that they actually print things on wood. Look at this. That kind of looks like me right there. That kind of looks like me a little bit. Like leaning my head there. Do I look like that? Look at that. Here, get over here, Colin. Get over here. Okay, you be her. Let's see if we can like do this. That's good. What do you think about that? Oh yeah, he's holding the bottle. That's exactly.
Is it right?
Did you get a picture of that, Ross?
Is it working?
Okay, awesome. I think that looks great. That's the screenshot. That should be the screenshot, the default. Should be the default of the vlog from dun 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 decon. Oh, that works out really good. Dun 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 decon. So that's about it. Just hanging out with these crazy kids, roaming around, trying to spend any money. You're going to spend some money. You have a lot of the budget of what, $800? I think you said you were going to spend.
There's Godzilla stuff over here. So.
Godzilla stuff? Man, there's so much stuff. I really should have brought my camera to film a main channel video. Because I did not. I always do that when I go to conventions. I think, I'm just going to do a vlog.
Yeah.
And then I get there, I get here, and then I realize I should have brought my main channel camera, my DSLR, my Canon T3i to film stuff.
Okay.
Because this would have made an epic main channel video.
Next year.
Next year. Next time. From now on, every convention I will start taking my main channel camera with me. Look at these. These are cool.
I'm going to spend money.
You're going to spend? How much are you going to spend?
I don't want
Give me a rough estimate. Is it going to be more or less than 13 cents?
Probably be a little more than that.
A little more.
That table alone.
Good seeing you.
All right, I've talked way too much. You have definitely chimed in quite a bit as well. I call this the moment of quietness. Now, usually it gets interrupted. I will interrupt it if I think of something, but I am going to. It's not a moment of silence. There is nothing like that warrants a moment of silence, but I call this the moment of quietness where I'm just going to wander around. People can take in the ambiance
Calm.
without me actually yammering their ear off. And the reason I can do that is because there's really no background music, which normally is why I talk so much. People always say, why do you talk so much in the vlogs? It's because I'm trying to interrupt the copyright infringement that is usually happening in the form of Lady Gaga above me, or Celine Dion, or Van Halen, whatever music that has actually a copyright infringement. So let's do a moment of quietness now and wander around the majesty, the excitement of decon right now. Here we go. Okay, before I forget, moment of quietness is ended. Let's go out and look at the Back to the Future stuff so we can end the vlog with that. We can go out this door, so we're going to go in the vlog. This lengthy vlog, we're at 20 minutes, which time goes by very quick when you're having fun. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. Castle Grayskull. Yes. I just recently watched Masters of the Universe. It's on Netflix. One of the worst movies ever made.
Oh, it's awful.
Absolute
awful. It's awful.
garbage. Yes, absolutely horrible, but it's very fun.
Yeah.
And it was filmed in Southern California. It was actually filmed in Whittier. In downtown Whittier is where Masters of the Universe
Are you
going to
do a filming location?
I am going to do the filming locations of
awesome.
that. But
Don't want to
this
spoiler.
is awesome. Look at this. That's cool. Oh, look at this guy. That is R2-D2 as a He-Man figure. That is cool. Very cool stuff. That's awesome. I don't know if he was trying to listen to what we were saying, or if he was upset with us or happy. I could not gauge by
It's always hard
the
to tell.
gentleman's. Yes.
Artists are
You never
weird.
know. Yes, this is designer con. People are designing things. His figures were very awesome. He had an R2-D2 that was transformed into a He-Man figure.
You see
So it was like morphing. It was like a morphing He-Man thing. I really like that stuff. I think I'm actually, after the vlog, I'm going to go back and actually buy something, because that was actually really super, super cool. The Castle Grayskull sucked me in, brought me over, and then I was like, I'm gonna actually buy something from that guy. So get one last look at the inside of D-Con, Designer Con, and we're gonna go out through these doors and show you something super fantastic, super, super awesome. I am a huge, as you know, huge Back to the Future fan, and right over here, shunk gong gong, gong 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 gong, is Back to the Future paraphernalia in the form of artwork, festooning this entire hallway. You're getting a little smile on your face too, because you're quite the fan.
You know,
of the Back to the Future
as
trilogy.
soon as I came in here, I felt like this alone was worth the price
I
of
know.
admission. Straight up, it was like,
I felt the exact same way.
yeah, I'm like, oh wow, this is great.
There is some amazing stuff. Look, actually, let me start with this over here. This was awesome. I posted this on my Instagram, AdamTheWoo on Instagram. Someone has created the most epic Lego Back to the Future montage I've ever seen when it comes to Lego goodness. And it's right here. Look at this. Back to the Future Legos. There's flames coming out of the back of the car, and it spells out Back to the Future down below the DeLorean that's going back to the past, or maybe back into the future. That is awesome. Look at that. That's a Pepsi Perfect.
Lorraine and George cake toppers for their wedding cake? Or is that them from the Enchantment Under the Sea dance?
That is from the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
Oh.
Right there.
Get your hands off me.
Look at that. Is that a flux capacitor pillow? That is a plush tonium pillow. Look at that. That is a flux capacitor pillow. But do not think that this is the only Back to the Future stuff. Right behind us is an entire vast amount of Back to the Future. And this looks very familiar because the folks at We're Going Back actually created Doc Brown's truck, placed it at the Punta Hills Mall, and this sign, they recreated that. You can watch past vlogs a few weeks ago around the anniversary of Back to the Future when they went to the mall and they actually recreated this, which is actually super, super awesome. But there's all kind of artwork here, all Back to the Future themed, which I am a fan of.
I really like these series of posters, like these ones. Probably don't show up too well in video, but...
This might not show up too well on video, but basically it's Doc and Marty going through the Old West on the DeLorean, being pulled by horses. And this is a dog that is not Einstein.
No.
That is not Einie. Come on, Einie. That is not. That is not
What was it?
Einstein.
Copernicus was the...
Come on, Copernicus. It's all right, Copernicus. And Einstein. That is neither of those. So that is just basically a rabid dog that is trying
Old
to
West dog.
either trying to bite the horse's kneecaps or their legs, or attack Michael J. Fox, which we do not want that to actually happen. And here's a poster signed by everyone. That is actually worth quite a bit of money because Tom Wilson has actually signed it. And Tom Wilson pretty much rebukes anything Back to the Future from now on. Will not sign anything Back to the Future. Biff does not want to talk about Back to the Future. Will not sign anything. So this poster was probably signed pre-2003 before Tom Wilson decided that he would no longer sign Back to the Future stuff. This is cool too. Man, this is lots of cool stuff here. You know what? I was going to say let's end the vlog with this. Let's go out front and end it
With the DeLorean.
Well, we shouldn't have spoiled it.
Oh.
But there is a DeLorean out front. We're going to end it with... Here's a random thing, too. Look at this. It's just a random picture of Huey Lewis. And, of course, he's lowering the glasses. Well, he should be holding the megaphone saying, I'm afraid you're just too darn loud. I don't think there's any shot in the movie where Huey Lewis does this. I don't think he ever does this in the movie. I could be wrong in assuming that, but he normally takes the megaphone when he's doing the dance auditions. And it's weird because before the internet, no one really realized that was Huey Lewis. Now the internet has all these facts and figures and weird, wacky conundrums and, you know, factual information about
Well, it's
Back
just
to
like,
the Future.
you know, in Hook, when Phil Collins is in Hook.
Phil Collins was in Hook?
Yeah, he was.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's like when they're in Europe in the beginning of the movie. I'm pretty positive.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I'm a big Phil
I have
fan.
you know, you may have seen this. This was trending about a week or two ago. There are people out there that despise Phil Collins. Do
Yeah.
not know why, but they are trying to have a petition started for him not to tour and release any more music, which is absolutely ridiculous because Genesis is amazing and Phil
Yeah, oh yeah.
Collins
It's
In
amazing.
the Air Tonight is a masterpiece.
All those records, No Jacket Required is a classic record.
So what is the deal with people and not understanding the genius of Phil Collins? I don't know what the whole backstory on that is. Enough of that. I'm getting very saddened for Phil Collins, but now I'm getting very happy because right over here is an actual DeLorean. Right there. Dun, 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 dun. I like how, no matter where I am, whatever subject matter it is, if there is a DeLorean or anything Back to the Future, the vlog instantly becomes about Back to the Future. So, Designer Con, inside here in Pasadena, California. The most epic thing that I'm ending the vlog with is this. But I do not want to focus too much on the DeLorean because in the last month,
Seen a bunch.
I've seen a lot of DeLorean
Yeah.
stuff. I got to ride in a DeLorean. Go back, look through the past couple weeks of my vlogs. There's a lot of Back to the Future stuff. All right, enough talk. I have said so much, yet I've said so little. Thank you for the tour here, Roscoe Soul Train. And I am very tempted by this coffee, so I might actually go. We don't even want to talk about the coffee cups.
Well, he said, "Damn boop." I don't know.
At first I thought he had a skateboard. I thought that was Marty coming by,
Right.
skating out. So anyway, see you guys later. Check down below for my t-shirts, AdamTheWoo.spreadshirt.com. Go to Ross's channel. I never can remember your channel.
Roscoe Soul Train 2, but the spelling's all funky.
Funky spelling?
And
You
it's
can just
number
Google
2.
it.
Yeah, just Google Roscoe Soul Train. Even if
Yeah.
you spell it wrong, chances are it's going to pop up.
I will put the link at some point, probably in here, but I will not actually be home for a while. So I'll be uploading this in non-HD. This will be in 360. Some people will complain. Some people will not mind. If you made it to the end of this almost a 29-minute
It's a
vlog,
beefy one.
leave a hashtag Heckett, and then leave something, hashtag Heckett, and then comment on Ross's mustache. Any comment you want to say about Ross, I know there's going to be some good ones.
There's going to be some bad
There's
ones.
going to be some good ones
I
and
don't
bad
care.
ones. If you made it to the end of this vlog, hashtag Heckett and comment on Ross's mustache. All right, you ready? Comment now. See you guys later. Goodbye. Get a close up of that stash.
Get a close